to get this looked at if I make it to Barstow.
There ain't nobody gonna do it for you. You got to find your own.
It's my last morning in Nevada. I'm just getting ready to head into town. A pretty normal morning. That was the easy part of my day. Bye, Nevada. Bye for the season. See you in about 6 months. Longer than that, probably. This is Level Canyon. Boy, has it gotten, everything has just gotten crowded. You know, I was just talking to Ralph yesterday, and I've been going back to New York every year for 4 years now. So it's been a long time since I boondocked in the summer season, you know, the high season out west. So you guys who boondock out here and who've been doing it a while, how is it? Is it getting harder and harder to find solitude? Is it super crowded? Because everything around here in the winter is super crowded. 10 years, it's hard to believe, man, 10 years. But when I first started, it wasn't nearly as popular as it is now. It was still kind of subversive and like radical. Now it seems like everybody's doing it. So, all right, so today is Sadie's vet appointment, and that's it. Well, errands. I'm gonna go to Whole Foods, and I might go to Trader Joe's. We'll see how much. I'm out early. We'll see how early I get into Vegas. And then Ralph is going ahead to scout a couple spots that I pinned near Barstow, because that's still almost 2 hours for me from Vegas. So that's enough driving for me between appointments and stuff. So we're gonna stay near Barstow. Hopefully we'll find a decent enough spot so that I can work through the weekend. I need to stay put for at least 3 days so I can get Sunday's video done. And yeah, that's the plan. And then we head up 395. Look at this. You go see the doctor today? You go see the doctor? Yeah. Yes, you are. I feel the difference with the new fuel filter. She was really kind of getting sluggish going uphill. This is a pretty big pass that you cross to go into Vegas, and she is smooth, not working too hard. I knew I needed a new fuel filter. It'd been a while. She's running really smooth, knock on wood. There's something wrong with my RV. Coming out of Vegas, it was sputtering. I'm like, it doesn't feel right. Something feels like it's sputtering. Then for a long time, it was fine. And now it's really bad. Sometimes when I put my foot on the gas, the accelerator, it's not accelerating. And it's really rough idle. I noticed it even in Vegas. Yeah, it's sputtering really bad. Can't fucking believe this. I just spent $1,500. All right. It's kind of mimicking what it did a couple years ago when it was just the speed sensor. I think it's the fuel pump. I should have had him check the fuel pressure when I took it in. I was gonna ask and I didn't. I just had him change the fuel filter. I hope there's a mechanic in Barstow. You know, I would have turned around, but Ralph went ahead of me and scouted a spot. And it wasn't his idea to go to Barstow, so I was like, you know, I don't want to be like, hey, I'm not gonna make it, because it's hot in Barstow, for one thing. get this looked at before I head up 395 if I make it to Barstow. It's sputtering really bad. And it seems worse at lower speeds. Oh, you know what? My foot is all the way on the gas and it won't go. There it goes. Now it's kicking in. Something's wrong. Oh my goodness. This is what happens when I make plans. The universe is like, yeah, no, we got something else in mind for you. Yeah, it's sputtering. I'm only 15 miles, I think, from Barstow. This is ridiculous. You know, these are the moments like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? I'm getting too old for this. My foot's all the way on the gas. There it goes. I think it's the fuel pump. I broke a rule, a personal rule I decided that I've never followed, is that when I get work done on my RV, not to leave the place for a couple of days, to drive around, make sure there's nothing wrong. But I was in such a hurry. I think you've probably heard me say this before. I was in such a hurry. I wanted to.
In 2 miles, take exit 189 for Fort Irwin Road.
All right, I'm close. Yeah, I was in such a hurry. I should have just stuck around for the other thing is my radio doesn't work. So when they took off the doghouse, they didn't reconnect my radio apparently, and I'm wondering if they forgot to connect a sensor, mass airflow sensor or something, maybe. I don't know. This is ridiculous. All right, camp is only about 15 miles away. The pin that Ralph dropped. I'm just gonna go. It's 3 o'clock. I mean, even if I pulled into a shop now, they're not gonna be able to do anything. I'm close enough. If I have to get a tow, knock on wood, I can. I'm just gonna go to camp. See if I can find the speed sensor. Make sure it's not that, and call some shops and see when I can get it in. Sometimes you think I could just go rent somewhere and have a landlord to take care of everything. This is exhausting. Alright, I finally found Ralph. It's windy as hell and it's hot as hell. Ralph is you can go on this side of the camera if you want. So I'm laughing now. I wasn't laughing when I found him. And of course my mic had to act up too. So here is what happened. I ended up going out to where Ralph had scouted a couple of spots, but they were pretty far out a gravel road and then down a dirt road and then kind of down I think one dirt road. And I was a little worried that if my RV didn't start again, then I was going to be stuck down there. So I wanted to be closer to a main road, and we ended up here by the power lines, It's not pretty, but it'll work. And what I'm going to do now is finish getting unpacked, and I'm going to call a couple repair shops, and I'm going to check my code reader. I'll do that first. Check the code reader to see if I can get any answers from the code reader. So this is a code reader. Most modern vehicles, I mean mine's a 2004, have a plug-in underneath your steering wheel somewhere. You plug this in, you turn the key. So right there you go. Mine's super easy to get to. You just plug it in right there. There we go. You turn the key. There we go. Keo 300, pretty severe. You'll see the bars over there. It says it's pretty severe. And then I had another one. 301. Cylinder misfire.
Cylinder misfire, yeah.
Guess what that is? That's a spark plug issue, most likely, or a spark plug wire issue. So, that I know at least now what it is. There's a few repair shops in Barstow. Hi, I was wondering if you would work on a 24-foot Class C RV with a Ford E450 chassis? No? Not at all? Alright, thanks.
Hello. Your call cannot be taken at this moment, so please leave your message after the tone.
Hi, I'm calling to see if you would work on a 24-foot Class C RV on a Ford chassis. I am having some acceleration issues and rough idle, so wanted to see if you could work on that for me. Thanks so much. Let's try another one. Hi. Yeah, I was wondering if you work on RVs. It's a Class C on a Ford chassis. Not at all? Not even if you don't have to get it on the lift, it's just a spark plug issue, probably? No, not at all? Do you know anyone in town who might be able to do that? Oh, there's an RV shop in town. Oh, okay, cool. I'll give them a call. Thank you so much. Bye. So, 3 auto shops in town, none of them will work on an RV. I don't understand that. I just don't understand that. You don't need to get it in the shop to do a lot of things. It's gotten better over the years. It used to be a lot harder. Well, let me call this RV repair guy. Hi, so do you do both chassis repair and house repair? Yeah, the motor. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I'm having some issues. I just had a tune-up. I just had my spark plugs replaced, and coming into Barstow when I was leaving Vegas, I'm having acceleration issues, really rough idle, and I've got a code that says it's a misfire. Yeah. No, you don't have to get me in today. I know it's late. No, when's as soon as you can get me in? Are you closed tomorrow? Yeah, Monday's great. Okay. So, Monday morning? Okay, excellent. I'll see you then. Thank you so much. Bye. Good news is I have an appointment. Bad news is we've got 90 plus degrees. It's Thursday, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 90 plus degrees. I mean, I could go to an RV park and plug in, but I really don't want to. So, we'll see how it goes. So when it rains, it pours. My refrigerator isn't refrigerating. Is 54 degrees. And it's 7 o'clock in the morning. The freezer's, what is that, 28? It got up to 91 degrees in here yesterday. It was over 100 and crazy in the sun. I put a fan in it, thinking it was the fan. Remember, I had Jason look at it over the summer. He couldn't find anything wrong with it. You know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to clean the flame today. I'm going to clean the flue and where the flame comes up. And one of the things that keeps coming up is it might be, I just woke up and I haven't even had coffee yet, but I want to get this on camera so you guys see the troubleshooting process. One of the things that came up is a propane regulator, and I am going to get that checked, but my flame on my stove is fine. Orange on the tips, but it would be a lot worse than that. And I did some troubleshooting yesterday, turned on my water heater to see if my flame did anything weird, and it doesn't. Considering the problem I had getting my propane tank filled, that shouldn't have anything to do with the regulator, but I might have him check that anyway when I go into the shop on Monday. But I am gonna, before I do anything today, it's gonna be 90 again. Fun times. This is one of those weeks I hate RV life. So I'm gonna try to clean up the flue today and the burner flame thing, see if that helps. Let me have coffee before we do that. So on top of everything else, it seems as if my GoPro is lost. I've torn my RV apart. I've torn it apart. Stored up there. Always. Always. And it's not up there. I have looked everywhere. I haven't seen it since Sunday, when I was, the last time, or Saturday or Sunday, the last time I was editing last week's video, last Sunday travel video. And when I'm packing up, when I'm ready to go, it always goes up there. Always. And it's gone. I've looked everywhere. It is not in this RV. So it's Saturday. I'm supposed to be working today. Long work day to get Sunday's video done. It's been so hot. I haven't been in the mood to work in here. It's been too hot. So I haven't gotten much done. And instead I'm troubleshooting my refrigerator. Tearing my RV apart trying to find my GoPro. Worried about my engine issues for Monday. Are they going to be able to fix it? Am I going to have to stay? Am I going to have to get a campground? What am I going to do? Am I going to have to replace my refrigerator? And if so, how long is that going to take? How long am I going to be in Barstow? What am I going to do in Barstow? Will I get a campground? Will I boondock? I'm trying not to worry. It's not the end of the world. I'll get through this. I've gotten through a million of these before. I will get through it. But in the moment, it's extremely stressful. Eating my oatmeal. Doesn't look great, huh? Protein powder, oatmeal, and frozen blueberries that aren't frozen. I just bought groceries. I just supplied up so that I'd be supplied up to get up to $3.95 because there's not a lot of grocery stores. Good news is, if everything spoils and I waste $200 worth of groceries, there's plenty of grocery stores in Barstow. So worst case scenario, I have to throw everything away and start over in Barstow. I'm gonna finish my oatmeal and my coffee. try to calm myself down. Because right now I'm not feeling very calm. I know you can't tell, but I'm about to cry. It's kind of the story of my life. Well, no, not really. It was the story of my life when I got clean and sober. Started trying to do everything right. And then it just seems like every time I try to do things right, everything just kind of falls apart. When I got sober, the first year I got sober, the stock market crashed. I lost my job. So my credit score, you know this whole story. The banks pulled back credit, and my credit score went down, and I was really proud of my credit score. I mean, we had a lot of debt, but I was still, it took a long time to rebuild my credit score after early days of it not being great. And then, of course, the house was upside down, and then I decided to leave my husband, and then my dog died. JT, the first dog, the first Rottweiler mix we had, died. He was only 7, and I went... In the morning, I had to go to a business thing. I was just starting my first business, Fortune Marketing Company. And I left in the morning, and he was just laying on the floor, and it was super early. And I was like, oh, it's too early for you, bud. And I came home and found him dead on the side of the house. That was the first year of sobriety. So, yeah, it seems to be a pattern when I try to do things right. Everything kind of falls apart. And I'm also trying not to feel sorry for myself here. And I know, it's just life. It's just life. But, I mean, I took it into the shop to get everything inspected, to get a tune-up, and I thought that maybe the ignition coils and maybe the spark plugs were causing some of the intermittent issues I was having, so I did the right thing. I took it in. You gotta laugh. Had my refrigerator checked last summer because it wasn't doing great. And it's 55 degrees right now inside my refrigerator. What I'm doing right now with the fridge is I unplugged the thermistor. I just replaced the thermistor last year. I think last year, 2 years ago, so it shouldn't be the thermistor. But before I take the whole burner assembly apart, I just watched a video on it. It's multiple steps. I'm going to have to really pay attention so that I put it back together right and everything. You know, I'm not a huge attention to detail person, so I'm not looking forward to this. So I'm going to try the thermistor first. Thermistor regulates the temperature. So with the thermistor unplugged, and that's the metal clip that goes on the fins in the back. So with that unplugged, what it'll do, I actually feel cool air, I think, coming through here. What it'll do is it'll just keep cooling. Thermistor basically keeps it regulated so it doesn't freeze. We'll see. Nope, 56 degrees. It's only been, the thermistor has only been unplugged for like 15 minutes. That's on the highest number. That's on 9. And it's on gas. Thermistor's been unplugged for, God, it's warm in there, maybe a half hour. And the temperature's going up. So I'm going to turn it off and clean the burner. Calgon, take me away. And also, I just called the shop in Pahrump to see if they might have any ideas about why my RV is acting funny. He said they double-checked everything to spec on the spark plugs and everything. He said he can't imagine it would be the spark plugs, so he's going to talk to his head mechanic. I also asked if they happened to see my GoPro, if maybe it fell on the ground when they were taking things apart, and maybe it fell out, and maybe... I don't know. I mean, because they were right here. They were right here. So maybe it fell down and maybe it's locked in my doghouse. Maybe that's my whole problem. Maybe the GoPro is in there doing weird things. No. Yeah. So he's going to check with his head mechanic and call me back to see if they might have any ideas about what's going on. Doesn't matter. I have to go in the shop anyway. The burner assembly in these things gets dirty from the driving and wind and things like that. So I'm going to try to clean it and see if that'll help cool things off in my fridge. We're doing the gas.
Let me do the other way around here.
And actually, I wouldn't be able to do this alone because we need 2 wrenches. Did you get it? Good job.
That's why you gotta, because you would have wrenched the whole unit. I put in all my strength on that. Okay, you can do the rest. That needed a lot of strength. Oh,
When I was feeling really grumpy on my walk this morning, I realized I'm so used to dealing with my problems on my own. I've always had to deal with all my shit on my own that's what I do. I go off on my own and deal with everything. And then I come back and I'm like, this is what happened. But actually making this video is forcing me to be in the moment because I want to show you guys what I'm doing. So it's kind of forcing me to not go off and fix things and then come back because that also doesn't make good video. All right, we got the gas thing off. I think that's so just to let you know, so the first thing I did is I turned off the gas at my, propane. I turned off the gas at my propane tank and then I went inside and turned on my stove burner to bleed it all out. You don't smell any gas coming through here. You should not smell any gas coming through. I bled all of it out of the system. I'm not going to show you every detail of this. I'm going to put a video in the video description, the video that I'm using to undo this. You don't need to see me doing it because I'm not an expert and there's going to be a lot of fumbling and probably a lot of swearing, but I'll check in with you. See, my GoPro would really come in handy for this. I have this really nice socket set. I had no idea how to use it. I'm like, Ralph, how do you use this? I bought it because it's nice to have a socket set and I probably would have had to Google how to use it. My mom's partner has been really teaching me a lot too. Well, Ralph has taught me a lot, but my mom's partner also has been teaching me how to use a lot of these tools. Vice grips. He taught me how to use vice grips and I bought some and look what Ralph did for me. Okay, so it's got to be the other way then. Oh, okay. Look at that. Oh my goodness. It's so cool to learn how to use tools. Get it lined up for you and try to prop it up with there we go.
So.
The whole burner assembly is out. There should be a ground. Oh yeah, it's pretty dirty. I see dust it's filthy. Oh, hopefully this will help. So I thought I saw him just pull this out. That feels kind of burned. You know what? I'll be able to clean that off. I think this might work. A couple screws. Seriously, people, how do you make this shit? I mean, they have all these special tools that the average person isn't gonna have.
Yeah, they don't design it for serviceability.
Okay, you know what? Okay, I'm turning off the camera because I'm gonna swear. So I think this is the problem. It's the thermal connector, and I saw it glowing
Igniter. Thermal
igniter. Yeah. But look at that, it's all burnt out. And I wonder if that's from driving with my flame on. And I'm gonna brush it, but I think when I go into the shop, I'm not doing this again. I'll have him replace it. We'll see if cleaning it up, you think cleaning it up might help?
Oh yeah, I'll clean it up a bit.
All right. Look at all the stuff coming off that. Okay, this actually might help it.
Yours doesn't have.
Do me a favor, hold this. Hold that. That's good. Last piece, putting it back together. I'm doing the electrical connections. Here we go. We're turning the gas back on. And yeah, you know what? Hang on. We could test the connection for a gas leak, but I'm taking it in on Monday anyway. And it's on there super tight. There's not going to be a gas leak.
We'll smell it anyway.
And we'd smell it. All right. I'm not sure we showed that when I was cleaning the end of the igniter, I broke part of it off. It was super brittle and corroded. And so when I was cleaning it, I was trying to be super gentle, but a tip of it broke off. So it's shorter than it used to be. We put it back together anyway, and we bent it down so it's barely going to hit like the first flame. Ralph thinks what's going to happen is if that is a problem, when I turn on my fridge, I'm going to get a no flame.
Yeah, it'll. This is kind of a Hail Mary thing. The part has
Yep.
to be replaced at this point.
That's right.
If
That's
it
right.
works till Monday, we've won.
That's right. That's it exact. All right, let's see. I'm going to go in and turn the fridge on. Oh, you stuck your head in there. You don't smell any gas?
Yeah.
All right. Wish me luck. Here we go. Here we go. I'm nervous. Oh, he said turn on the stove burner first. Let's get the gas going first. Yep. All right, we got gas. All right, let's turn on the fridge. Here we go. It's on. Do I have a flame?
Not yet, but it has to purge the line.
I'm not getting a no flame. Yes, I am. Shit.
It gave up.
Oh.
You may have to do it several times. Some of them it takes a bit to purge the gas line. So turn it off.
I did.
Give it a second, and then I can hear it ticking already. You got it on?
Oh, yeah, but I turned it back on. You know, my refrigerator couldn't do that. Well, couldn't do this when it was cold outside. It's got to wait until it's 100 degrees outside. And I just bought groceries. I can't believe this. No flame?
Not yet. Still trying. Oh, hang on. I wonder if the valve's on.
Oh, I turned the valve off. I turned that little valve off. I forgot there's a little on and off valve at the burner, and I had that off. So, is third time a charm?
Still might have to purge.
Here we go. Nope, I hear it clicking.
Flame.
We have flame! No way!
Okay, now we gotta wait and see if it keeps sensing it. It may turn on.
Oh, the flame looks good. You know what I see a little bit of orange popping.
That's okay. A little bit's okay.
But you know what I'm not seeing? Earlier, you could see the igniter glowing.
Yeah. That's what I was worried about, is that glowing igniter, is it sensing that, yes, I have flame. So that's why I was saying it might kick off after 20 seconds, but it's not kicking off. So amazingly, that little stub seems to be okay.
Wow.
Yeah, like, watch it for the next half hour type thing. If it stays on, it's good.
Well, I gotta tell you, it has felt like a disaster of a day. I was supposed to work all day, and instead we spent a couple hours, I think, on the refrigerator. And the refrigerator is now, look at that, 68 degrees. The freezer is 33 degrees. So I stuffed as much of my stuff in the freezer as I could. It's shot. I think it's shot. We've done everything. We've done so much troubleshooting today. We've both been researching like crazy what it might be. Ralph was kind enough to put my soda in his fridge. So it's cool. I've been drinking warm water all day. He's been supplying me with ice. I think it's shot. I was going to get it replaced anyway when I got to New York because it doesn't work on AC. It hasn't worked on AC, and he tested it last year, and the cooling system or whatever is broken on AC. I think the cooling system for propane is now shot. Like I said, luckily I have an appointment with an RV shop Monday morning. It's Saturday night to figure out what the hell is wrong with my engine. And then hopefully I can get a new fridge. I can't go up $395 without a fridge. So I might be stuck in Barstow a while. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully. I don't want to be here that long. But hey, you know what? I don't have to be anywhere. It doesn't really matter. And luckily today was not nearly as hot. The hottest it got in here today was 89. It was 91 in here yesterday. With hardly any breeze, and yesterday was freaking miserable. I was so miserable yesterday. Today I had a nice cool breeze going through all day, and even with 89, Sadie and I weren't that bad. Fun times. Fun times. You know, I always feel like all this shit always happens at the worst time, but there really is no good time for all this shit to happen. Although, you know, I was sitting in Prump all winter with, decent temperatures, and my refrigerator was fine. But it decided to die now. And this is the refrigerator I bought coming back from Alaska. So almost 8 years old. All right, I have more work to do. It's 7 o'clock, and I have a lot more work to do on tomorrow's video. And it's a mess in here because my whole life is turned upside down at this point. Literally, it was a mess in here yesterday because groceries, and I had done, all my errands and everything. And it's hot, and so I made beet juice. So I had blenders and food processors. I had all kinds of stuff out. But last night, before I went to bed, I did my dishes. I cleaned up. So when I woke up, it was so nice in here. But I woke up to a refrigerator that was like 58 degrees, and that's when all hell broke loose. I'm going to work, and I'll get cleaned up later and check in with you when I check in with you. Good night.
I want to be Sadie in my next life.
Okay, so my refrigerator sat overnight. We cleaned the burner yesterday. It sat overnight, and it is still it's not cold in there at all. It's 57 degrees, but that's just because it was a little cooler last night, and Ralph brought me a bunch of ice packs. Here, I'll show you. 57 degrees. And there's ice packs in here, which are melted. But the freezer is 36. Freezer's still working. Well, it's working as a refrigerator. Yeah. So it definitely was not the burner. Didn't need to be. So I just haven't had my coffee yet. So making it now. It wasn't the burner. It's shot. It's the cooling system. The cooling system, Jason said last year, the cooling system for AC was shot. So it's only makes sense that the cooling system, and that was a couple years ago. It hasn't worked on AC in a couple years. And it makes sense then that the cooling system for, I need to boil more water. I didn't boil enough water. I try to not boil more water than I need. That saves propane. I mean, I do that all the time. I'm like, why boil a half gallon of water if I'm only going to use, 8 ounces, 12 ounces? And sometimes I'm a little short. What was I saying? My refrigerator's shot. I need a new refrigerator. My engine isn't running. My propane tank has issues, and now I need a new refrigerator. Oh, I found my GoPro. You know what I did? I was editing that video yesterday, and I realized I was filming B-roll when I was dumping my tanks at Preferred RV Resort. I'm going to call them today. And I left it there. I left my GoPro sitting at the dump station. So whoever found it, if they looked at the car, they're like, why is somebody filming themselves dumping their tanks? Yeah, so that's a couple 100 miles away. We'll see if they have it. I don't know if they're going to want to send it to me. I don't know. I mean, I guess I could pay them to send it to me. We'll see. Anyway, I have to work today. And it's going to be another hot one. Luckily, the guy that I'm taking it to on Monday is an RV repair shop. Not only is he going to do my engine, but now I can have him give me a quote on, well, I guess I'm just going to see how long it'll take to get a refrigerator. I need a new refrigerator, so we'll see how long it's going to take for him to get it. I might be just stuck in Barstow for a while. Funny. It's so funny. No. Alright. Well, wasted a bunch of fruit. Urgh. Dog. 8:30, I heard from the shop. They're probably not going to be able to do any work today, which is a huge disappointment since I called on Thursday. Huge disappointment, but you know, the world doesn't revolve around me as much as I wish it did. But they said bring it in so they can diagnose it, figure out what it's going to need. He said his mechanic knows these Fords really well and is very familiar with the issue I'm having. So he wants me to bring it in and run some codes and see if we can see what I need. So here's a couple things I'm thinking. I'm thinking either they didn't seat the spark plugs correct. It's a spark plug wire that broke. Maybe they didn't inspect the wires. I know that my distributor cap where the spark plugs through the doghouse, he even said in Pahrump, it's really hard to get to. I think it's really easy to miss things. And so it could either be that, maybe mass airflow valve. I think that's what I had an issue with 3 years ago. That was one of the guesses a few years ago when I got stuck in Vegas, and it is kind of acting exactly the same. Maybe my speed sensor came unplugged, or maybe it's a fuel line issue. There's a lot of things it could be. We'll see what their codes pull up, see if it's any different from what my code said. I'm packed up, I'm taking off, and I'll let you know what we find. Luckily I'm only 5 miles from I happen to boondock just 5 miles from the repair shop. That's good. I don't have to drive very far. And you know what? I think I'm going to spoil myself and get a hotel with a pool and a shower. So Ralph is going to head up to Lone Pine. He scouted some spots. I scouted some spots. So there's no reason for him to stay in Barstow. It's going to be warm again today, close to 90. They keep saying hotter than yesterday. Yesterday it was like, oh, tomorrow it's going to be cooler. And today it's like, no, it's not. It's going to be hotter. And there's no reason for him to be here. I mean, it was nice of him to stick with me through the weekend. Although he didn't mind. He didn't want to move anyway. But so he's going up to Lone Pine, and I will get up there when I can. There is an RV shop in Ridgecrest, which is closer to Lone Pine. We'll see how long it'll take these guys to get me a refrigerator. And here is what I'm thinking. Maybe just have them do the engine. And if it's going to be a week before I can get a fridge, get it up in Ridgecrest. That way I can drive up, be somewhere more comfortable, not be in Barstow, and kind of drive to the where the refrigerator is going to be and get it done up there. I got some calls to make later today. We'll see what they can do here. I mean, if they can get me a fridge tomorrow and do all the work tomorrow, best case scenario, not holding my breath. All right, let's hit the road. Let's get this done, see what it's going to take. It's been a really frustrating weekend with the heat. And I was so behind on work, and then of course when I'm behind on work and I'm hurrying, my editing software kept crashing. Ask Ralph. There was a lot of swearing coming out of this RV all weekend. Hopefully that's going to be over soon. I should have showed you the turn of the key. She started right up. I've started her a couple times over the last few days, and she starts right up. That's not the issue. No rough idle. The idle is rougher when she's hot. But right now she's running smooth. She feels fine in the cold, so whatever the issue is, it's when it heats up. Maybe feeling a little sluggish, but I just accelerated up a hill and it went fine. I really kind of felt a little bit of the jerking, skipping coming into Barstow the other day when it was hot. It'll be interesting to see what they find. You know, this RV, it's usually a sensor. It might just be the mass airflow sensor. Or a fuel pump issue, and maybe it only shows up when the fuel is hot. And maybe the fuel pump isn't working right. I don't know. I'm not a mechanic. Although I've been through 10 years of this shit. I've learned a lot. First lemon, Matilda was a lemon. I learned so much, and even this one, not a lemon at all, just an older vehicle, and I've learned a lot. This place already.
All right, I just have to wait a few minutes for them to send out the mechanic to check my codes, see what's going on. All right, just left the shop. The engine, his code reader showed multiple cylinder misfires. So he wasn't able to see much, to tell much. I need to bring it in tomorrow morning and I need to take it apart and look at it. Best case scenario, a dirty mass airflow sensor or a coil, he said. Worst case scenario, some of you might get your wish for me to upgrade you need to upgrade your RV. I'm angry right now. I'm a little stressed. Not angry, I'm stressed. It could be a fried cylinder, which would need a whole new engine. $16,000. I'm not going to even think about that. I'm going to get a hotel. I'm going to relax.